This feeling, like a shiver in my soul. Do you sense it too, Galen?
No, not really, no.
Face it! With Silksong released, the earth trembles with the great migration of hundreds of indie games. The air rustle with 1,000 clown wigs set down and thrown away.
Oh, that's what's going on. I just thought my AC was acting up again.
And would your AC also summon Zeral out of season?
Hello.
Okay, fair enough. I guess we have no choice then but to get in the spirit by talking about the joking themes in today's episode of Music Arcade. Hello everyone and welcome to the Music Arcade. I'm Galen the Sound Guy Firestone.
I'm Ronico.
And I am Sam, and why did I get spawned out of the AC this time?
I don't know, because I don't even have an AC.
So, where did I come out of?
Oh, wait, that's why my fridge won't cool anything anymore. I get it now.
It all checks out.
It all comes together.
Wait,
all right,
actually,
I feel
that
like
was written before
You're right.
your fridge died. Wow.
Yeah, wow, good. Wow, that worked out surprisingly well. You know what? It may have cost me $2,000 to get a new fridge, but at least we got a good joke or two out of it.
Absolutely.
Perfect for this episode. We are simply too powerful.
Yeah, our jokes and our oracle abilities too strong.
Can we please stop using our oracle abilities to destroy my appliances?
I don't know. Can we?
No, don't mess with his canned food.
Also, of course, Eddie can be there this episode, and he will return hopefully next one, and wishing him well.
Indeed. And with that, we've all kind of been going through it lately, and I'm not exactly sure how we ended up with the joking theme.
I am the one that brought it up, and that was because I was thinking about other expressions of relief, and jokes work as a way to cope with difficult situations. And then I remembered Silksong announced, and since then actually released. It's real, and the way the joke themes matched the fact that the production cycle of Silksong was a subject of 7 years of joke about it not being real and never coming out, felt appropriate.
It's in the same vein, and it was in the same vein as, like, Bloodborne 2, or like a remake of Bloodborne, Half-Life 3, Portal 3, like, these, like, complete and total, like, myths of the gaming world.
Sometimes they can even be nested into one another. Like,
exactly.
Silksong released before GTA 6. That's a joke in itself.
Yep. There is also a case where one of the No More Heroes games actually was a sequel to Shadows of the Damned. So, like, sometimes weird stuff like that can happen.
That was the third one, no? Wasn't it?
I don't think it was the third one. I think it was that, like, interquel between 2 and 3.
Oh. I forgot it existed.
The only thing I remember about it is the Shadows of the Damned thing, so, you know.
So, speaking of Silksong, I gotta say, the best way to start is with the main joke character that is prevalent in the Hollow Knight universe, Zote.
I listened to this song, and I started the playlist taking my notes as usual, and I'm like, this is just a boss theme. This sounds great. It's a great song, but I'm not getting the joke. And then I realized it just had to be Zote, didn't it?
For an absolute buffoon of a character who constantly fails at every turn, he's got a surprisingly good boss fight theme that only plays in the dreams of a fangirl.
Yeah,
that kind of makes sense in a way where the joke is the serious perception of the idealized version of this character that gets increasingly more pompous and with an increasing amount of epithets as much as along the fights you have with him in this dream version.
So you never got to this, Galen, because you never did go through Godhome fully. But there is a thing called the Eternal Ordeal, where all of his epithets are available to see, and you fight him at his strongest. Yeah, they scroll off the screen.
Oh my god. You're right, I haven't seen that. I didn't really have an interest in the Godhome content. I was fine leaving that on the table, but
I admit I haven't faced that either, because I've only known from speedruns and the likes. When it comes to my Hollow Knight personal experience, I never even reached the City of Tears.
Well, speaking of jokes, one of my jokes with Galen is like, he always talks about, oh, I'm not that great about platformers, and then proceeds to do both Lifeblood Core and White Palace in the same stream.
Okay, I'm apparently way better than I used to be. I just have to admit that at this point. I apparently have, in fact, gotten at least somewhat good. But let's talk about the game and the song and not me individually playing it, because that's kind of unfair to the audience.
I know, but it's still funny to bring up.
Yeah. I will say regarding the song that, especially contrasted to most of the other songs we'll bring out in this episode, this one is, I would say, subtle about its joke, in the same way I called a cup of hot water very subtle white tea once. because I didn't realize the one that served me this quote-unquote tea didn't realize they forgot to actually put the tea in.
God.
I've done that. I have run my coffee maker without putting coffee grinds in, which results in the same thing.
Yeah, but the point is, it's not even pompous, fanciful dueling music. It's just fancy dueling music.
Yeah, I listened to this and I'm like, this is just a cool boss theme. And I'm like, why is this in this episode? That's where I got stuck, but I realized, like, again, if you're just looking at the music from a vacuum, there's no reason to suspect this is a joke character at all. Every other song on this list have some musically comedic element as part of the composition. This simply doesn't. It's just good.
Yeah, if you told me the composer wrote it for a regular boss you'd find on your encounter and it was repurposed for that character, I'd believe it.
Yeah, same.
The thing is that Zote in total, I could have used another theme for this that is the title, like the title screen theme, but with Zote singing it.
I mean, that would have been funny, but I feel like that's, like, where does that actually appear in the game? I don't think I ever discovered that one.
It happens, I think it's either randomly or after you get a specific thing. I forget the exact conditions to get it. But it is, like, I will have to put it into chat to show you later.
Yeah, the song definitely doesn't fail as a song. I think it fails as a joke song, but that's kind of the point, because this joke character suddenly got good, even if it is just in someone's dreams.
If nothing else, the joke is more in the song's title and usage and the way it plays straight to the comedy.
Yeah.
Which is a nice contrast and brings something different from a lot of the rest of the song we've picked this episode.
It's unusual when the song plays the straight man.
Exactly. Moving on from one hero to another, take us to some Xenoblade content, Galen.
So, in the first Xenoblade, there's this character named Riki. And Riki is a Nippon. They are the totally not Moogles we swear mascot character for Xenoblade. mascot
Yes.
race. And Riki is introduced being used as a volleyball. And I mean that extremely literally. Dig, set, spike. You can find this scene on YouTube. This character...
This just made me realize that 2 of your 3 picks today are volleyball related.
That's an accident. And actually, technically not, but also that's just the title. We're moving on. Riki is forced onto the team and is the legendary Heropon, as called by the Nippon, because he owes a lot of money. He's in debt, and this is how he's paying it off. This is as joke a character as you can get, with one notable exception, and that is Riki is a death machine. He is arguably the most powerful character in the whole game, and I'm not even joking about that. The game got demonstrably easier when I put him on the team.
Riki is going to pay off his debt by fighting God Nippon.
Yes, and winning, very likely.
Yeah. To give you an idea of the kind of way they aestheticize the character, you have armors that shows visual change depending on the weight of the armor and the type of the armor.
Right.
And one of the heaviest class of armor you can put on Riki essentially turns him into an angry durian with a weird hammer.
Pretty much.
So, when I first started listening to the song, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard it is, what?
Yeah. No, that's the question you'll be asking when this guy forces himself onto your team. Well, I guess technically the leader of the Nippon forced him onto your team. But either way, he is kind of unwanted. But also, once you actually use him, you realize he's cracked. So, like, I don't know how to handle that.
I also want to talk about the absolute insanity that the use of the guitar in the middle was.
Yeah.
It was completely blindsiding. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I listening to? Like,
I would like to focus on the entire rest of the instruments, in fact, because that choice is impeccable. Just in the first 20 seconds, we have the MIDI synth keyboard I had when I was 6 years old, harmonica, an approximation of a stomach rumble, bells, maracas, a boing sound, and whistling.
the thing is that this sounds like a Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness Colosseum theme without being from there.
Yeah, no, because it's a very diverse soundtrack and it can do a lot of stuff, including this kind of wacky composition that still holds up together very well. Like, eventually it becomes cute and there's the guitar and there's a bit of the self-perception of heroism and it goes places. Like, the song is wacky, but that doesn't mean it's lazy about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
No, if there's one thing I don't think anyone could ever accuse the Xenoblade soundtrack of being, it's lazy.
Yeah.
Between Yoko Shimomura and Ace Plus, the collective of like 4 or 5 different people that did most of the soundtrack, this is an extremely textured soundtrack in basically all levels.
Exactly. And so when this kind of team makes a joke character's music, it reminds you at every turn what you're dealing with, which is a small fuzzy mascot comic relief.
Right.
Totally not Moogle's TM.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just calling a spade here. I knew exactly what was going on the second I saw these things. I'm like, oh, okay, get it.
Riki is really powerful, but you know who's not powerful? Dan from Street Fighter. Hey,
wasn't
Rana, how you
there one?
doing?
Hang on, wasn't there one SNK versus Capcom game where he was like weirdly cracked? I think there was one where he was actually tuned like a real character.
I believe that's possible, but
your guess is as good
I
as
don't
mine.
remember which of his iteration was.
Me neither.
This would make it interesting given that Dan, in his inception, was a reaction to SNK making Ryo, which was a joke character version of Ryu from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So it's this fun rivalry back and forth that eventually cemented its time as the rivalry toned down to the point where now we have Ken guesting in City of the Wolves and Mai guesting in Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
Neat.
Now, what I picked for this episode is not the Dan theme, however. The Dan theme is great. There's a reason it's been brought back on every occasion but this one from Alpha 3.
Yeah, I really like the Street Fighter 4 version.
Yeah. The little wooden chimes of the main melody are a perfect way to represent in audio form someone whose punches, compared to the other fighter, hit like a wet noodle.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the kind of relief this one theme has. It's called Performance, and it's essentially the theme of Dan try-harding. It sounds like a 90s gym class, but I think it conveys the way that he may be a joke character within that setting, but he's not malicious about it.
Yeah.
I mean, for being the jobber of a character that he is in the Street Fighter universe, he's actually got a pretty chill, neat theme overall for this.
Yeah. That one, like, it sounds in part also like an Earthworm Jim theme. And,
I didn't even think of that. You're right. Actually, the thing it reminds me of is going to make you both very confused, but please continue.
It's got conviction, but without the heavy, I'm fighting for my life thing going on. It's someone that kind of just wants to be there and wants to have some good fights, get some praise, and preach the good work of the Psycho fighting style, you know?
Yep. So here's
Good
where you guys
vibes.
are going to think I'm crazy until I explain it. You know what song this reminds me the most of?
What?
One-Winged Angel.
What?
You are crazy.
The thing is, I'm not even talking compositionally. I'm talking mixing. This is actually a song that pushes PlayStation 1 hardware to its absolute limits, or at least it's composed like it was trying to do that.
Fair enough.
I can see that.
Yeah, like, there's a lot going on with the mixing and the panning that I'm like, the PlayStation does not have enough audio channels for this, and it's, like, doing things to make that happen. Like, I listened to this song through, like, 3 or 4 times, making all of these technical notes, and I'm like, they were trying to show off with this song. The mixers were doing something real wacky here.
Yeah, it was first released for arcades on the CPS2 hardware that apparently basically held the series since, like, Championship Edition.
That doesn't really surprise me. Arcade hardware doesn't really innovate as much as others, and frankly, this mixing would be lost in any arcade. You would never hear most of this. It would come out as almost mono.
Which is honestly sad, just because it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, it gets you in the mood, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun theme.
The song itself is fantastic. I was just so blown away by how, like, they were trying things with the panning that, again, the many home consoles of that day and age definitely didn't have the audio channels for. Maybe the Dreamcast could have pulled this off, question mark, question mark. Well, I say maybe because clearly the song exists in some form, and I'm sure it was in the home releases, but even then.
Yeah, that feels like a home release song, and, like, given that the Alpha series was a bit between generation, I can only assume that the fact they didn't have to cram as much elaboration on things like the animations as they would with Street Fighter 3 later on meant that they had a bit more wiggle room to do things like first having an ungodly large roster and apparently flexing their musical and mixing capabilities.
Yeah. It's a shame I'm only discovering this now, because this is honestly, on a technical level, a really impressive piece of work, and I feel like that needs to be shouted out.
That's absolutely why I brought this up instead of the expected dance theme, because I was like, did he always had the same variation? And I first discovered this song and I really like it.
I appreciate you, like, actually going out of your way to pick something more unique, specifically in order to, like, show us that this existed.
And I appreciate you shouting out Pokémon Colosseum with your next pick.
Yes. So, the Afro-touting Ludicrous Ludicolo using Disco Diva, this admin of the evil team plaguing the game Pokemon Colosseum, is fun, wacky, and oh so great. They're a joke character you laugh along with, rather than at.
I have one main problem with the song.
And that is?
This is not Mirror B's theme. This is Mirror B's Ludicolo's theme. It's got a Latin vibe to it that the Ludicolo reflects, and the actual trainer certainly doesn't. Does this sound like a disco song to you?
No, and his Gale of Darkness theme doesn't even sound really disco.
Yeah, but you look at his looks, and that's the obvious direction to go, so I'm kind of confused about his the direction for his song pick right there.
I mean, it's just fun. It's just hilarious to see, like, oh, this evil team that has, like, planning to steal Pokemon to do horrible things has this person as one of their administrators.
Well, it's not even just that contrasts. Like, yes, they have the whole plan to taint the Pokemon's hearts with darkness for evil stuff, but also the protagonist is peak early 2000s Edge. And I say that as a positive. The protagonist is great, he's iconic, he's a legend. Mm-hmm. And then you have the opposition and it's, woohoo, let's dance, yay! Even for a Pokemon game that's lighthearted and weird, and I appreciate that aspect. Even though that's definitely the music theme for his Ludicolo and not him, I will not let that go.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to hear this with live trumpets, live horns. I think that I understand this is an older game. I think the MIDI takes a lot away from this.
Yeah, the N64 does have its limits, and the track doesn't transcend them the way the previous track does. With its own system, that is.
Yeah, no, I like the song compositionally a lot. This is definitely one of the better ones I've heard out of Pokemon. I don't have a huge amount of love for Pokemon as a soundtrack as a whole.
Really?
It's fine. I don't know, I just never got into it like some people. It's fine. Like, I'm not angry at it, I don't dislike it, but I've never really found any tracks that really stuck with me. This is definitely one of the better ones I've heard.
Let me find tracks for you, then. That's an episode right there.
Actually, his original theme is more disco. Like, in Gale of Darkness.
Gale of Darkness came after Colosseum.
Oh. Right.
Gale of Darkness is XD.
Right. Yep. Like the hilarious thing is that they used XD because when that was a thing that is just like, oh, we're using these extra letters when it doesn't really matter, because that was 2000s.
With that though, we are getting to the end of the kind of initial block about joke characters, but jokes go broader than just specific characters. And sometimes I would argue for the next pick at the expense of the player.
Oh yeah, no, this joke is on the player. So, in the what is quickly becoming an all-time classic, Expedition 33, there are these side areas called Gestral Beaches, and they are a series of extremely frustrating minigames that...
Only up jumping puzzles.
Only up. So, this song is called Are You a Gestral or a Volleyball? And that's named for the second Gestral Beach, which is quote-unquote volleyball, though, you know, as a volleyball fan, I can clearly say this has nothing to do with volleyball at all. It's Pong, but with cannons.
Yeah, or like Missile Command.
Yeah!
Except you have controllers that wouldn't feel much different if you wore mittens.
Yeah, no, the one of the biggest flaws of this game is platforming controls, and in a lot of the game, they're able to hide that, but in a few areas, most notably the Gestral Beaches, they refuse to hide that, they make you interface with it, and it's painful. And this song, during an only up sequence, among others, but the only up one was the one I personally had the most problems with. I need to talk about the subreddit for a moment, because I think this is kind of relevant. Most people on the subreddit hate the volleyball game more, but everyone kind of agrees that all the Gestral Beaches suck some flavor of butt, and no, like, it's just an argument of which one's the worst.
Yeah. Like...
That said...
In a way, even though the song itself is fun, in the context, it feels like it's mocking you. Like, every breath is the developers and composer laughing at you for persisting again and again for pretty purely cosmetic rewards.
And an achievement. Let's not forget the achievement.
What I saw in, like, comments on the video, like, I can just parrot here. This is just the way that the developers use to keep you going.
It's not wrong. I'm glad this song is a banger, because otherwise, like...
if it was Pulse Oblivion, it would have not been great.
Yeah.
Like, it's very dancey. Appropriate, of course, given that there are some gestures at the finish points that have constant dancing animation loops.
Mm-hmm. And
you can believe they are having a party there.
Oh yeah, and those dancing gestrals are there to distract you, because there is actually a hole in the middle of that platform. I didn't fall in it, but I've seen YouTube of people who have. So
that is evil.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's real bad. You think you're done, and then you slip and fall, and it's back to the beginning with you. The only up is the one that gives me nightmares. That's the one I look back on, and I'm like, Gestral Beaches are the devil, and this one is why. Not volleyball. Not that volleyball's good, by the way. Remember, the argument isn't if any of them are good, it's which one's the worst, to not any of them are even remotely acceptable.
Yep. No argument there.
Yeah, it's some kind of nightmare.
Not all minigames are quite as nightmarish, though, and I will take myself towards the next song pick, which is from Chain Echoes, right at the start in what is essentially the version of the Chrono Trigger Millennium Festival. And one of the games is Turtles Racing. Extremely simple concept for an extremely simple 20-second song. Turtles are slow. The race between the tortoises is treated extremely intensely with speed lines and scream shake and indeed shoddy hard rock.
Yeah, let's not forget that we have a thrash deathcore hybrid going on for 20 seconds here.
I'm gonna be real, the dichotomy of this one with what it's for is the first thing out of the entire playlist so far that has made me laugh while listening.
And
I was too baffled.
And I will tell you exactly why. Because this is a pick that's special because the song is the joke. Yeah. It's not illustrating it, it's not referencing it, it is the joke in itself. And I thought that was something special enough to deserve mention here in this episode.
Absolutely. It's a very, it's a 20-second song. There's only so much commentary we can make on the song itself. But yeah, no, exactly. It's just, that's the joke in its entirety, and it's a good one. It's like, you expect Turtle Racing to have some kind of music, sure, or maybe not, maybe it just doesn't. And then this song plays, it's like, I don't know what's happening here, but I love it, question mark?
And the funny thing is, it's not a unique joke because there's another game in which we have a mix of thrash metal and tortoises, and that's in Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, where there are 6 variations of musics for promoting a store named The Happy Turtle, and one of them is very similar, except it illustrates combat and not a race.
Now, what I'm reminded of mostly is actually Final Fantasy XIII 2, when you're in a paradox zone and you get a chocobo. It plays a really weird heavy metal chocobo music just to mess with you. So that's what this reminds me of more than anything. It's basically the same joke, though the chocobo one is infinitely more annoying because it's a lot longer. That one wears out its welcome fast.
Yeah, and like this one is kind of the perfect length. Like, you have the joke, you get it, and you can move on. Or do it again because you have a very reliable way to find out who's the fastest turtle, and that's the fastest way to get all of the local money to have all the rewards from this festival.
Perfect.
So going from minigames and specific like sections of games to the specific like straight up full games themselves and the composer, Toby Fox is a absolute memer. He creates several different motifs and things like that, but all of them are for jokey purposes or for utilizing in the most insane ways possible.
Well, for the examples you brought, I think it's not even that the songs themselves at a base level are necessarily joking. Like, Lancer's theme is a solid jazzy theme, and the dog songs are the kind of music you'd hear in a Western saloon, except because these games use an 8-bit aesthetic and a commensurate sound font. When you change very little, you can have huge impacts on what's happening to the songs themselves.
Exactly.
And thus to the tone. And the stripped-down nature of it really helps a lot. Like, you have this saloon theme, but it's slowed down and deformed in one, and put back together, but the instrument is essentially the dog sound in Mario Paint in the other. That's how you make it a joke sound instead of a Western saloon sound.
Exactly. There is so much, like, it is a level of music compositional, like, proficiency that allows him to have so much fun with creating shenanigans.
I wouldn't call it proficiency per se, it's just that he's using the tools and playing around with them a lot, which makes sense given his background.
Oh yeah, considering he started with like his own ROM hacks as well as Homestuck.
I discovered Toby quote-unquote radiation fox with Atomic Empire from Homestuck Chapter 3.
Yeah.
And it was a good track.
I'm about to catch a lot of hell for this. I tried very hard being objective listening to these and tried to just focus on the music, but I am like Undertale's #1 hater. I have a very, very antagonistic relationship with this game, its franchise, and frankly, its fans.
Entirely understandable. You will not catch any flack for me.
Yeah,
especially with things like W Place relatively recently, which showed the all-encompassing kind of obnoxious level of memory that tries probably the intention is probably to promote, but in the end to share love of a game, but it just makes it less approachable.
Yeah, So I came into this going like, all right, I've got to deal with this. It's fine. I will deal. And then I got to the third song, the Tem Shop. And just sonically, I wanted to punch someone in the face immediately. I'm like, this is assaulting my face. This makes me want to do a genocide route just to hear Megalovania, which is legitimately a good song.
Yes.
But, like, I was like, I'm trying so hard to be like, okay, here's the motif. I see how it's used. These are cool chip tunes. Oh, God, what am I listening to?
Yeah, because, I mean, one of the parts that's interesting in the description of the song right from the start is that this, and why I think it's interesting to feature these songs in this episode, is that Sam, I believe you described them as not jokes per se, but memes. And I think there's a distinction in modern parlance that, and I would agree that they are more mimetic, even though on a technical point of view, the status of something as a meme or not is not decided by the creator, but by the general reception of it.
And yeah, I think it's pretty clear by now I'm not much of a memer, so it doesn't surprise me that I don't resonate with this.
But when I picture in my mind what's a meme song sounding like, Temmie's Shop is a pretty good guess.
Moving on from chiptune to photorealistic, Galen.
Wait, which one's photorealistic? Oh.
Final
Okay, I've got to stop doing this. I have gotten into a bad habit where I'm looking for a song and I hear the remix and I use the remix because I like the way it sounds better than the original version. This is a mistake that I keep making just because I like the way this sounds sonically. But the original version of this was not photorealistic. It was PlayStation 1 hardware. That's on me.
I will say, though, I kind of support this pick in this situation specifically, because for this song, which is it's difficult to stand on two legs, isn't it? The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth version, I think the choice of this trembling brass really complements the song and what it's meant to depict.
So here's what I remember it depicting from my youth, because I haven't played the original version of Final Fantasy VII in a very long time. You're on the ship coming out of Juno. Juno, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, is it Juno Final Fantasy 9? Wait a second. No, sorry. Anyway, going back to that. So...
Well, Junon, but...
Junon, thank you. I knew I was wrong
Juno
somewhere.
is 11.
Oh my god, it is. Never mind. Wow, my brain is really scrambled this morning. Anyway, so you're leaving the boat, and you're at this really dark, deep sequence, and you fight Genova, and all this weird stuff happens. And then, in some of the purest bathos that has ever been in a Final Fantasy game, suddenly Yuffie comes out. She's seasick, and this song starts playing, and it just diffuses all of that tension in kind of a delightful way, and really make me laugh.
Well, if you have Yuffie in your party at this point,
if you have her in your party, which, okay, I gotta tell the story. When I was a kid, I played games very differently than I do now, and I really didn't like Yuffie back then, so I actually kind of went out of my way to not get her, and my cousin Derek, he played my game, got Yuffie for me in the middle of the night while I was sleeping, and saved.
That... Oh
Derek?
my god.
I was trying to avoid her, and that's what he pulled.
Absolute sibling shenanigans.
So, I did get that
Incredible stuff.
Despite my best efforts.
But even without Yuffie in the party, that's not the main center point. It's depicting this song, because it's right there in the title. The main joke this is centered around is Red 13 in a sailor's outfit standing on two legs, and he's bad at it.
Oh, I have no memory of that whatsoever. I honestly okay. How about that?
No, that's definitely something. He's wobbling constantly, and that's why the song is called It's Difficult to Stand on Two Legs, Isn't It?
And here I thought it was a reference to the seasickness making her dizzy. That's honestly what I thought this was.
That would also work. And that's why it starts at this point, but it works for both situations. This one is the more mandatory one, I'd say.
I will say, I didn't know how to feel about the song outside of direct context, but now that I have it, it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that the Rebirth version is a good pick, because the trembling brass, again, is a perfect representation of Red 13 struggling to stand upright, even though this is during the card games tournament arc in this case. And just not falling over completely.
It's a very apt song, and it was actually the first one I thought of when we started planning this episode. Usually I'm used to the proof of concept songs going first, but this time it's actually my last pick. So,
and when it comes to not just the brass, I mainly focused on that, but the discordant sound, the do 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 do, it's really helping bringing up this wacky feeling, you know?
Yeah.
There's no better way to put it. This is a moment of levity after a tense sequence.
Yeah.
And it works great for that.
And honestly, like, as we discussed before, every other song on this list has some comedic musical element going on, except Zote's theme, which kind of swinging back to that, like, that's the joke in and of itself. Like, everything else here, You get it. But this is the one where it's like, but that first one is like, wait a second, that's actually an anti-concept, which is also kind of funny.
Yeah. I think we had a pretty good selection overall.
So let's get to the end credits. Rana.
Exactly. For this one, we are getting a very literal sense, because it's a song with lyrics, and the song itself is full of joke, perhaps more than you even realized on listen. This is what happens in Double Dragon Neon after you beat the final boss, and the boss is punched off of a cliff that's like in space, so he has a lot of time to fall. Enough time to sing during the credits, starting with you beat the game and then reflecting on the contents of the game, which is very light-hearted, and the fact that this is Skullmageddon, which is essentially a parody of Skeletor from He-Man, complete with the voice, also helps, because I believe that's Matt Boson actually doing the voice.
No, it's the director, Sean Velasco.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad then. Yeah, no, my bad. This wasn't Matt Boson singing, it was Sean Velasco then.
Yes.
Yes. Doing a very solid, not quite Skeletor voice while singing. And my favorite part my favorite joke in the song is the part when the lyrics go, "Here's a medal for your victory." Because you don't see it in the video we used in our playlist, but when you first clear the game and the music reaches this exact point, that's when the achievement for finishing the game pops up.
Brilliant.
That's fun.
Brilliant. In fact, my understanding is, despite Sean Velasco not having anything to do with River City Girls, when they brought Skullmageddon in as a shopkeeper, he actually came back to voice this guy again. So
exactly,
which I thought was
because both the protagonists and the antagonist of this game feature as cameo shopkeepers in River City Girls.
I still need to play the second one. I don't know why I haven't yet.
This is a musical number / rock ballad that is just really fun to listen to.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Like, the game overall is very lighthearted, very self-referential, and this is a perfect way to cap it off.
Yeah. Way Forward style is pretty divisive. I know people who really don't like how self-referential it can be.
Yes.
I like it. I thought it was cool, but I do get why that can be a problem. I can imagine people being very angry at this song existing.
Especially for this one at time of release, it came with that wasn't really a lot of other beat 'em up that are released since then. And I think games like River City Girls and perhaps even more to the point Street of Rage 4 released and revived the genre in a very respectful and very apt fashion, help make this game's place in video game history have a more comfortable spot as something that's a bit lighthearted and more on the lighter side. And that's why I look back at it fondly. And the fact that it was cut with that song certainly helps.
Yeah, this song is really some kind of incredible. I have a real kind of when it comes to this kind of end credit song, especially, we've talked about this before, where some of these just don't land. This one lands perfectly. Yeah. This one's...
I mean, literally too, given that at the end of the song, he almost crashes down, but instead of landing on the floor, there's the kidnapped girl that makes sure the landing is just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
A little nuts.
No wonder she becomes the playable heavy hitter character in River City Girls 2.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, I really need to play that game.
That's her.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool.
Alrighty.
And with that end credit song, I believe it's time to move out to what we've been playing recently.
Music Arcade, now playing. Hey, I finally got the segment intro back. You've been stealing it from me the last few weeks.
Not gonna lie, I was pretty tempted to
I know you
try it again.
I know you were. Talk about what you were playing, nerd.
We wouldn't want to overload the jokes even in this episode, but as for what I've been playing, last weekend was the playtest and network test for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which was tons of fun.
Yo.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, like, the online was being tested for a reason. There certainly was some disconnection here and there. But when it comes to the game's mechanics, like, I was a huge fan of Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, and this one feels like a worthy successor. And I can't wait to try really hard by playing Ichiban Kasuga no less.
Oh no. I'm not surprised, but oh no.
Sega.
I mean, there's, like, at launch there's going to be Hatsune Miku and him in the DLC packs. There's going to be Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
and Joker from Persona.
SpongeBob.
Okay.
Also, Joker was actually playable during the demo.
I mean, that's still Sega. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to music, they went with a different road than All-Stars Racing Transform, which had this very continuous soundtrack. And for this one, they have a lot of remixes. And what they've done for previewing the OST, which is very fitting, is release not individual tracks, but DJ mixes. Because what's happening when you pick a track is that you have the first lap on the track as you would expect, but at the end of that lap, you have a choice between two possible other track, which is the Crossworld, that takes you to do your second lap on a completely different track with a completely different theme until you return to the original track for the final lap, which plays a variation that's more intense of the track theme. So essentially, you have 3 different laps on 3 different tracks, and you kind of have to improvise and stay on your feet, and that's why it's very dynamic, and that's why having OST releases that's playing multiple different themes is there.
Huh. That's a pretty cool way to go about things, and a good way to differentiate itself from Mario Kart, honestly, which is obviously going to be its main competitor.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there definitely is some like shared DNA with that idea, but at the same time, I mean, very good on them. Speaking on the joke side of this episode, I've heard some people say this is just gonna be the Fortnite Mario Kart, isn't it? And honestly, that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Kart racers are kind of a perfect genre for that. And this one really does very well, like this very chaotic moment where one instant can move you from 1st to 7th place. And if you try to take it seriously, you're going to be a rage monster by the 3rd race. So don't. And enjoy the vibes, the quickness, the responsive fun controls, and the music. That's really cool, very, very diverse. A lot of it are remixes from original tracks from mainly Sonic, of course. Like the last part of the DJ set is the first and last lap versions of the same track, and originally the theme in Sonic Frontiers is this very chill ambient piano theme that has variation where it's contemplative with strings, and there they went and took that melody but made it high-speed fun and poppy, and the final lap version is even more intense, full EDM with suddenly some metal guitars at the middle, and they're having fun with that.
Yeah.
I mean, composers having fun is never a bad thing.
Yeah,
can confirm.
Especially given that the Hatsune Miku collaboration isn't just for having her as a character. One of the more well-known composer, Camellia, worked on that track too.
Oh, there you go.
Neat.
Yeah. But aside from that, I also played a lot of Silksong, and Silksong is good.
Glad to hear it. I'm probably gonna wait for a patch and a DLC or two before I really dive in myself, but
checks out. And it's a hard game, but it's so far really doing a good job at finding ways to push me forward.
Cool.
It's enjoyable, and the song part of Silksong isn't just there for the title. The music plays a very central role in it that becomes clearer as you go through the game. So that's pretty neat too.
Neat.
And finally, I have not been playing Pizza Tower, but I did put a music from Pizza Tower in now playing, mainly because since last episode I learned of a project that just impressed me, of a full conversion mod of the game to give it a Genshin Impact theme with one of the characters, Farina, instead of the main character from Pizza Tower, and there's completely different looks from boss fights, and Pizza Tower does not look like a normal game. It looks like somebody decided to use MS Paint to deliver great vengeance upon reason.
I thought it was MS Paint to deliver LSD straight to the vein.
And so the fact that this can be modified in such a visually cohesive way, I think is nothing short of impressive, and also gave me an excuse to give a good listen to the tracks, including The Death That I Deserve Yearly, which is first great track name.
Yep.
And this is what happens at the full end of a level, when basically you do the level and find secrets, get your scoring, and Then, once you reach the end, a timer appears and you have to backtrack and return to the entrance in the style of the game's main inspiration, Land 4. And when you do that, you have an option on some of the secrets that only appear during the escape sequence to go to a teleporter that's near the start of the level, and that's your objective, and teleports you all the way back to where the ending sequence started.
And you got to do it again?
Exactly, a second lap. And it's only if you do both of those laps then you can have the highest ranking score in any individual level. And thus the music changes from a very hurried up to extremely hurried up and intense. And that's really cool. But what have you been playing, Galen?
Well, you know what I haven't been playing? Arknights. I'm going to let that one sit for a second. I technically am, but I'm playing the absolute bare minimum right now because I hate this event, so I'm not going to show it off. What I have been playing, on the other hand, is...
You just shot my joke in the knees.
I sure did.
How dare you?
Yeah, in the episode about jokes, I had to kill a joke. Whoops. Not sorry.
I am in shambles right now. Continue, please.
So what I have been playing, the new Cosmic Exploration in Final Fantasy XIV came out, and this new planet has an incredible song. I love it.
I haven't been able to actually get to it yet, because I haven't really been on enough to really touch Cosmic Exploration.
I've been playing with Iwai, and it's been I don't know if it's been fun necessarily, because it's crafting and gathering, it's like Diadem, but like at the same time, if I have to go there, it sounds great.
Yeah, especially if you're going to spend a lot of time there. Might as well have a good song illustrating it.
Absolutely.
Occasionally cut off by the theme for Leaves, of course.
Yep.
Which is not bad. It just makes it so that you're ready to get back to the open world immediately after.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I finally put the main game of Horizon Forbidden West in the books. Yeah. And
congratulations.
It has an actually good final boss track. As you guys know, I am like angry at Horizon Zero Dawn's soundtrack for daring to pretend to exist.
Yeah.
I have like no memory of that soundtrack whatsoever. And one of the biggest improvements between Zero Dawn and Forbidden West is Forbidden West actually has a pretty decent soundtrack. Not my favorite I ever heard, but one I'm willing to go to bat for.
Yeah.
Which 5 is greater than 0 is all I'm going to say here. Even calling it a 5 is pretty underselling.
Yeah, but these are some very apt video game soundtracks. And for a game with that kind of magnitude, it feels wrong not to have at least that.
Yeah, especially since the first game's biggest comparison was Nier Automata, which, let's be honest, that game is kind of an all-timer soundtrack, so that's kind of a hard comparison.
Soundtrack, yeah.
Meanwhile, Forbidden West is up against Elden Ring, and I think Elden Ring does come up ahead in that one, but at the same time, I still like this one. And the song I shared...
The gap is much narrower.
Yeah. This is a soundtrack I can actually talk about and remember it exists.
Yeah.
That's a huge plus.
That is a huge improvement. I got the final boss track here, which is pretty good. And it also plays some of the main theme at about 3 minutes in, which is a good use of the leitmotif. And I like it. I don't have much more to say about that. It's just, it's notable in its improvement.
We love to see some improvement.
Absolutely.
Sam, anything on your end?
I mean, besides being able to actually do a couple more things in 14, and hearing one of the worst renditions of Oblivion that I've ever heard.
Oh, this thing is awful. What the hell?
Not really much. I've been working a new job, figuring out life, and making everything happen.
So hang on, I need to talk about this, because we've glossed over it. So, I am not a fan of Oblivion for reasons of technicality. I find the guitar tone frustrating. I don't think the composition of the song is bad. During our recent run in Eureka Orthos, which is a deep dungeon, the Pulse version of Oblivion came in from the Pulse album.
And I started hearing it, I'm like, wait, is this? This is Oblivion. What the hell is this?
This song is compositionally bad. The Pulse remix is god-awful and needs to be called out. Who approved this? This is bad.
Like, to the level that we were considering skipping chests just to get past.
No, I haven't done that content, but I refreshed my memory a bit on the Pulse version of Oblivion, and I'm a bit kinder on it. It's like the Pulse album don't necessarily have the kind of gravitas of a second composition in a lot of situation, but they're very experimental, and I don't know how much workable inside of an actual game environment that really works. But I like that they're getting a bit weird with stuff like, let's take the teen metal song and have it become a weird trip-hop kind of thing.
I think it's more interesting in concept than it is in execution.
Respectfully, the Pulse album has Pulse Sunrise and Neath Dark Waters, and
I don't like that version of Neath Dark Waters, I will say.
I'm also going to say that there was already an EDM version of Oblivion called Return to Oblivion, and that song is actually great.
And that's one of the best songs in the game.
Absolutely.
Also, I checked the comment for the Feina theme, and somebody called it a real Wii Sports type beat. And, like, nailed it.
I don't think I can unhear that now. Okay, cool.
Sorry to have ruined your next 30 hours of crafting.
Listen, he's already dealing with so much being ruined. Speaking of which, how's that fridge that I came through?
I'm getting the new one on 2 more days! 2 more days! 2 more days!
So while I'm here, you want me to make you something for dinner? Do you have any ingredients I can use?
I don't have the brain power to improv an outro, so I'm just gonna do the outro. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, you can find the playlist in the description below, and how to contact us. And please send help, because I miss having a fridge. See you all next time.
See you next time.